What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. Here's a title. Why exciting whites are dominating sports and what's the reason? I don't think, you know, it's majority of whites, but now, but lately, yeah, it's been a lot of white girls and white guys taking the lead right now. But we'll see the reason between Whitlock here. So let's see what Whitlock says.
Put out a very interesting tweet or post on X about a renaissance going on in sports for white athletes. And I know you're not a racial idolater. I think you're trying to make a point to like, hey, everybody's overdosing on black excellence and point at, they're the fourth black person to win the Super Bowl. They're the 28th black person to, make a basket while their eyelashes were falling off and their mother was at home taking care of their baby's mama. And you're mocking that, but you actually make a real point here about what's going on with white athletes. There seems to be a renaissance going on. And you made the point, this is after NBA All-Star Weekend, like, hey, the best dunker in the NBA or in basketball is some white dude, Matt McClung. Best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic.
Okay, so yeah, right now, recently, okay, Matt McClung, I think he won his back-to-back title. But he's not playing really much in the NBA. He's spending a lot of time in the G League. And then best player in the NBA, yep, Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic, And then of course, highest comeback player of the year. Yeah, it's a white dude, the one that I forgot his name, but yeah, made the interception. And of course, in women's basketball, a white girl named Caitlin Clark, from Iowa. And the best college basketball player, could be, Connor Flagg. He might become the number one draft pick. But who cares? They're all what? Pretty much Americans, with the exception of Nikola Jokic, and we'll see from here.
Highest rated cornerback, the Dejon Cooper with the Philadelphia Eagles. Most popular player in American sports. In my view, you American rookie sport, talking about Caitlin Clark. College basketball's best player, Cooper Flagg. Just kind of goes on and on and on. We are in a renaissance of white athletes, and no one wants to talk about it, but we will here. What do you make of this?
I'll go back to my last point. Sports are about meritocracy, not diversity, equity, inclusion. DEI doesn't need to be in sports. I think the last time we saw a starting white cornerback in the NFL, I think it was Jason Sehorn. I might be off on that, but it's been about a couple decades. But for me, I'll point all these things out. I could care less what the color of the best players and most popular players are.
Yeah, and of course, not going on the white side. Baseball right now, opinions could vary. Shohei Ohtani, he's not white, but he's Asian. But we don't sit there and go, Asian this, yeah, Asian that. He's a first Asian to do all this. No, we don't do that. So, yeah.
People don't, even though Caitlin Clark's going to say, my white privilege played a role in this, even though it didn't. People like you more than Asia Wilson because they see aspects of the NBA, an aspect of Steph Curry in you, an aspect of Kyrie Irving in you. You do something in the game that we haven't seen before. People are attracted to that. But for me, obviously, I'm going to throw that first tweet out there. I had a full thread because this is based off of ESPN posting just like you said, black excellence. Jalen Hurts is the fourth black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Everybody's saying it. You're saying it. TJ's saying it. Everybody's like, yeah, when does it end? 5th? 7th? 12th? Then we start getting into subcategories, like you said, the eyelashes. While somebody, under 6'4" and black won. But I think we need to look at people like Marcus Freeman that they're not bringing up his Asian descent. They're bringing up his blackness.
Yeah, and of course about Marcus Freeman, reason I even found out is like I didn't even know he's half Korean. Yep. So I was like, okay, but it's like, okay, okay, cool. He's half Korean, but guess what? He's a hell of a coach. Besides him being black and half Korean, he's a hell of a coach. Of course, Notre Dame didn't win, but that's how I look at it. But I don't know. But yeah, this racial divide, and yeah, even if the whites are dominating right now on the media, on the mainstream media, of course, we all know that majority, you know, are black. You know, succeeding. But lately, a lot of the white athletes are succeeding. The Asian players, Shohei Ohtani, big deal. Yamamoto or whatever, or some might say Juan Soto or I don't know, Aaron Judge in baseball. So let's go.
You could be the first black coach to win a national championship in college football. I don't care about white excellence. I don't care about representation in sports. I just want to see the best players play. And I'm attracted, and you're attracted, and everybody listening to the show is attracted to the best players or the most unique players. Like I loved Michael Vick growing up because he was unique. I've never seen something like that before. I've never been able to play Madden with somebody that seems like he's uncatchable.
Yeah.
That's what we are attracted to in sports. And I don't care if ESPN's going to do a segment. I don't want them to do a segment about a white renaissance, white excellence, how whites are somehow taking over sports. I don't care. That's the main crux of the argument.
Thinking we start cutting carbs.
Yeah.
I need to drop my belly fat.
Here's the most interesting
that's a
weight
good
loss fact.
diet.
John, you didn't make this point, but I will. And the point is out there to be made. The real thing that you're pointing out, and again, I don't know the full history of Nikola Jokic, but I think the other people, and I've never done any sort of deep dive or shallow dive on Matt McClung. But when I looked at your post, the real message from that is kids from two-parent households excel at everything, including sports. And the marriage and the nuclear family is undefeated. And so we're used to a lot of single parent kids dominating sports. And what's happening over time, you look at LeVar Ball and his three sons, you just look across the board, what's from Steph Curry, you can take just race out of it from Steph Curry. The best fruit is coming from two-parent households, and it's starting to show up in athletics. It takes a lot of parental support.
Now, going back to that, I actually, sometimes when I watch the draft, the NBA draft or the NFL draft, I go and I sit there and wonder, okay, besides the player getting drafted, who's his mom and dad? And if I kind of see that, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter what color he is, black or white or Asian. I'm just like, or Hispanic. I'm just like, yo, all right, two-parent household, cool. Let's see how he does, So sometimes I'm even looking at that much more than ever.
To develop a high caliber athlete. And it's great when groups like the Young Men's Christian Association, they don't call the YMCA that anymore, but we used to have the Catholic Youth Organization and all these different evangelical places used to stand in the gap for single parent homes and help develop these young athletes. And as the country's become more secular and people have started saying, hey man, there's risk involved with dealing with, they're calling me racist if I provide too much help and all this. And so I think single parent kids are starting to do less well in organized sports. And the kids from two-parent households are starting to blow past them. And that's the real, I look at Jalen Hurts, comes from a traditional, I don't think everyone wants to talk about authentically Black. I don't think we've had anybody lead a team to a Super Bowl title that comes from a single parent family. And you know that, and we don't want to have that discussion because it's uncomfortable and it removes race, and it's you can't just blame people for being racist. But this life, including sports, rewards the nuclear family. That was the message I actually took unintentionally from your post.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And that's, I think, something that conservatives could hopefully write down themselves. We don't just need more babies, we need more families. When you have someone like Caitlin Clark that has both her mom and her dad coming to these games, and she's thanking her parents, not just like we're used to hearing, like you said, Jason, oh man, my biggest idol is my mom. She's been there. And it's some of these single mothers are absolute heroes. They've done some great work, but we're going to change this country by honoring God. The family is a blessing. Children are a blessing. Be fruitful, multiply. We got specific roles that we fill in the traditional family. Men need male role models in the home. There's a lot of things that we're seeing that these athletes are missing because they're trying to get what they can only get from a father from their mother. And you're spot on there. And I think that's what people are starting to realize. If we're going to see true revival in America and in sports, sports is a great reflection and maybe even launching pad for making a difference in culture and society. We start seeing the Jalen Hurts, the Caitlin Clarks, even though obviously there's plenty of things we disagree there, people can start to realize, like, wow, their parents are a huge part of what they're doing here, huge part of the success. That's going to lead to Cooper Flagg saying, you know what, I don't necessarily need to chase the NBA money or the NBA fame. I might just want to stay at Duke for another year. I like it here. NIL money, I'm sure, is real nice. I'm sure his bank account is not struggling, but
Yeah, and he's the projected #1 draft pick for next year. So, but yeah, I could see him staying for another year. So, yeah, and I've been following like a little bit of Cooper Flag, and like, holy moly, putting up some points, and they have a pretty good squad, and yeah, it's just like today's NIL, you could stay and still make money. Damn.
that could be a testament to his parents. That could be a testament to the way he was raised. That I have a little bit more pride in playing for Duke and staying in college basketball and being a good steward of the legacy of college basketball than I am to just try to chase stuff as an individual.
Well, what Cooper Flag has the option to do, and someone hop in the chat, email me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I've looked at Cooper Flag, his parents are still together. Maybe I'm wrong. But what Cooper Flag has the opportunity to do is properly develop and not be shoved into a microwave. What have we seen for years from the top basketball players or some of these athletes that try to get to professional athletics as soon as possible? Oh, I got to take care of my family. I'm the man in my house. I got to retire my mother. I got to move her to a house and blah, 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 blah. Instead, Cooper Flag gets to be 19 years old because his mother, I believe, is still married to his father, and he doesn't have that pressure. He doesn't need to leave Duke and have arrested development for himself and take on the responsibility. I got to take care of my mother. I got to take care of my cousins. He comes from a nuclear family. There's a proper level of support, and now he has more options. And now he has the opportunity to fully develop before heading off into that NBA world.
And I was thinking about, who had to come out early? Kevin Durant had to come out after his freshman year at Texas. I think, because, I think he was raised by a single mom, because I don't recall seeing a father, but you guys can fact check me on that for Kevin Durant. I mean, he turned out all right, but that is just the exception, And I'm not saying that all, there's a few that do, make it with a single mother, but not a lot. The numbers don't lie about that. So yeah, it's nuclear families that, these kids do well. But yeah, there's just a few might have done well with just one parent, but majority, it's doubled up.
I'm just, that's what the two-parent kids are getting that the single-parent kids aren't. And so when you at 19, 20, 21 years old, you enter into professional sports, you enter into your professional career, and you have that pressure of not just competing at a high level, but now I'm responsible for my family and extended family and blah, blah, blah. Well, we wonder why some of these guys struggle with leadership. And when I'm talking about the quarterback position or any of this, they got too much pressure on them. They got too many other responsibilities pulling them away. And so a Jalen Hurts, great relationship with his dad, strong family, he can just concentrate on being the best Jalen Hurts that he can be. He didn't come into the NFL saying, oh man, I got to move mama up out the ghetto and buy her a house and, my aunties and uncles. I can just concentrate on my career and it's a blessing. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like.
Okay, yep. So nice video by Whitlock. Yep. So the exciting whites. Now it doesn't mean that, completely, all of white America is dominating and we don't even celebrate. Let's have a revolution of white players. Oh yeah, no, or and then of course ESPN likes to push in there to black excellence. No, we're all pretty much Americans, except the international players. But yeah, a lot of these players are, just like we said, are attractive because they just resonate. Like, okay, we're alike. All right, or this player, does something. It's not because I had this, I had that hardship. We resonate like, okay, greatness. And that's what we want to be, like Michael Jordan, a two-parent household, Magic Johnson, two-parent household, Larry Bird, two-parent household. I kind of think about this even more, like, okay, all these players, what do they have, So a lot of these guys had two-parent households, and yeah, I agree with that. So that's what it resonates, and yeah, and that's what it is. All right. So if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.